More options for subject control for law enforcement from the top position coming up. What's going on, everybody? Kevin and Dan with Guard Defense Solutions back for another lesson. So we've been getting these requests in, and one of the requests was like more options for top control for law enforcement. So we kind of came up with this little, it's more of just a subject control position, maybe to buy some time, get your back up there or something like that. But we taught it several times at several different seminars now, and it's been really successful. It's pretty, the complexity of it's pretty easy, so dive into it. Anything? Nope. Cool. Good. All right. So I got a guy on the ground, and we're gonna tackle this thing kind of from a kind of a north-south position. The movements kind of will work from like a side mount position. Any of these top control positions, we would have like maybe our weight on a guy or our knee up on a guy, but maybe there's just got different options. So we're going to tackle this from a north-south position originally. First, I'm going to show briefly like what we used to show is kind of this drive forward key lock position right here, which I love. I love this position, but we found that as we were teaching law enforcement without like kind of a background in jiu-jitsu or more training, that as we started kind of intertwining our hands in here and getting these, it became a little complex, and I don't think it is with some practice, and those are great options. I'm huge on that type of hold, but just a different option with maybe less movements, we came up with this. So what I want to do is, if I'm in this north-south position, I've found myself on the ground or side mount, and we'll show it here in just a minute from like a side mount. Same dynamics apply, nothing really changes. But what I do is, the first thing I want to do is drive my arm deep into his armpit. See, this is like a nutcracker, right? And that's my fulcrum point. So the deeper into this, the more leverage I have on this. And I'm churning my bones, stacking them on top of each other. Kind of makes it uncomfortable, almost gives like a pain compliance technique at the same time. And what I do is I drop the force of my shoulder right into this forearm. So if my shoulder goes down and my thumb comes up and I apply this pressure, it really locks him out, right? Pretty uncomfortable. A little bit. As I drive my shoulder forward, it brings his shoulder and head up off the ground. I'm gonna use that to tuck me underneath him. What I'm doing is creating a wedge across the back of his torso here, so he can't roll back into me, and I'm forcing him away so he can't roll into me, and he can't really create that explosivity that he would need from rolling onto the ground and exploding up into this fight. So the moment I create that, I kind of come in and I'm kind of cradling him, right? So again, nice and deep into the armpit, I drive his weight forward and come up and tuck myself right underneath him. This hand stays here. So versus this key lock position, all I'm going to do is reach down, grab this other arm, and shoot my arm all the way through, and big hook grip on his tricep. As I pull this, it eliminates him from being able to roll away from me now as well. So he can't roll into me because I've put a wheel chock right here, right? So if he were like a Swiss ball and he could kind of roll back and forth, if I put a wedge back there, he can't roll anymore. So it creates that lack of ability for him to explode into me. He can't roll away from me now because I've locked this tricep down. Now, there's another point. If you could come in here and tuck this view right here. Right here, what I do is I kind of have an accelerator here to make this as hard or as light as I want. If I drop my elbow, it creates all this pressure on him. The more compliance I have, and I got him locked up right here, right? So it's pretty hard for Dan to move right now. And I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but I can hear his breathing, like the pressure. So if I need to let up, look, my elbow just lets up. The more compliant he is, the more I come up off my subject, allowing him to be comfortable, but he's still under control. The other thing I like about this technique is it's one-armed. Once I've fed this big grip right here, once I've fed this, now I can get on my radio, I can call for help. I can pan the crowd and make sure he doesn't have other subjects in the area looking to help him out. So I can be heads up, I can get on my radio, I can call for help. This is a good subject control. Again, we're not handcuffing from here or whatever. This might just be waiting on my backup officer to arrive, and it's not burning a bunch of energy. I'm not killing myself trying to do this position right here, right? So once again, and I'll show you a mistake that we saw quite a bit when we were teaching this. My shoulder comes down, I drive this forward, wedge myself underneath them. When we were teaching this, a lot of people would just leave their hand right here and try to barely, and they were having a hard time getting this grip. I don't do that. Look, when I feed this here, I shoot this good and deep and pull his arms together. So it really crisscrosses him over, gets him all caught up. Again, wedging his back, creating that big grip on the back of his tricep, preventing him from rolling away from me. Now, once again, I have my fulcrum point, so that's my gas, that's my brake, right? Gas and brake. So it's not like a light switch. Pressure isn't like a light switch, all or nothing. It's more like a gas pedal. So do I need to go 20 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour? And then I can be able to decelerate and come back, right? So he's good and compliant. So I let up, I go, you good, man? He's good. I get on my radio, hey, I need help, or whatever I need, pan the audience. Anything? Okay, so these are some of the options that we give to like a north-south position, or even side mount. This works here too, right? So we talked about like a side mount control position. If I can wedge this here and come in, same thing, same operation. Here, shoots deep, boom, and control. Big grip, elbow gets the back, and then I have them crossed up. You feel like you can move pretty good?
Nope.
Okay. Feel like you can breathe pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then again, I have that fulcrum point. So if he starts getting rowdy on me, go ahead and start moving around. I can control. Pretty hard for him to be explosive. I can even wrap the head here and pull him up and control more. So just options from the top position that are not necessarily full weight. Maybe I found myself off his body and there's a hard fight to get back onto his body to control him. So just different subject control options from top mount for law enforcement. Cool? Okay. Cool, thanks so much, guys. So that's it. Once again, please continue supporting us. It will help us out so much if you could like this channel, subscribe, and keep the comments coming, because we're trying to collect the data and questions from you in the law enforcement world, from civilian world, self-defense, and a lot of our material is going to come from those questions from you guys. Cool, anything else?
Like our Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely. Thanks so much and stay safe. Rough day, huh? Ready? Get your gun. I'm on.